Defeat against tough opposition tonight, Dale, but we give it a good go. What was your thoughts?
A good game. I mean, Radcliffe are a good side. We were under no illusions in terms of how difficult the game is going to be. I think there's been a slight upturn in form of late with ourselves in terms of showing a little bit more promise. But nevertheless, it ended up being a tough game, and you can see there the quality in terms of the finishing. I think if you look at the game on chances, we've actually had more chances than Radcliffe. But in terms of that ruthlessness that they have and the actual quality they have, then they've got that in abundance. And for all our efforts and endeavours, and I thought the second half we played some really good stuff and created chances. I think we've had something like 10 chances, and I think it's eight shots on target tonight. So unfortunately it wasn't to be.
Speaking to Matt before the game, he said he wanted us to take advantage of set plays, and we did that early into the game. How pleasing was that to take the lead?
Yeah, look, we scored on Saturday from a set piece. It's something we work on. We're starting to get there. It's been a difficult transition from, we were quite reliant on set pieces from last year, and we've had to find another way. We're slowly but surely getting there, and it was good to see another one that we'd worked on. We thought that there was a couple of things we could exploit, which we did, and I think we looked a threat from set pieces all night. But the most pleasing thing was how we played in the second half. I thought we were fantastic on the ball. I think we were really brave, and in terms of how the game went, I thought we dominated for about the last half an hour, but the reality is we just couldn't find a finish.
After that goal, though, to concede so soon, and then the two after that, how disappointing was that? That's
disappointing. You have to come to places like this, and you have to really be sort of tight defensively. Probably all three goals are preventable. The third one, even we don't put enough pressure on the ball. But again, it's a collective effort from everybody. We're working as hard as we possibly can. Obviously, it was always going to be a difficult game here, but in the end, I think the lads have given a reasonable account of themselves. But unfortunately now it's not about performances, it's about points.
Is it about becoming harder to beat moving forward then?
I think you have to find a balance. They have to find a balance in terms of looking a threat. We don't want to be negative. We want to start playing football that wins us games of football. I think that's important now. Coming from Saturday, we have to win, and going forward, we have to start winning games. And I think if you set up to try and win, then more often than not, you've got a great opportunity to do that. If we set up in terms of not hoping not to lose, then stats tell you that you're not going to win a game of football. So where we are at the moment, we've got to start winning games of football, and we've got to start putting points on the board.
And we've seen so many squad changes as well over the recent weeks. So does that make it tougher for the lads having to get used to playing with each other?
Not really, no. I mean, at the end of the day, players have come in because other players have been underperforming. So what we thought we'd do, we've got to strengthen, and if anybody comes in now, they've got to be better than what we've got. And I thought, Saturday Eddie's come in and done really well. Today he looks a little bit tired. He hasn't been playing regular football. James Carvell came in Saturday. I thought he looked really bright for 60 minutes, tired a little bit. We sort of erred on the caution without bringing Aaron back in because of that energy in midfield. But when James came on, I thought he was absolutely outstanding. He gets on the ball. He's very brave with the football. He wants to get on it. He wants to tick you over in terms of passing. And I think you could see in terms of the possession we had, probably in the last 20 minutes of the game was outstanding in terms of the football we played. But ultimately, football's all about goals in both boxes. And we fell short in the final third.
In contrast to the end of October last year, where we were flying high at the end of the table, what do you think's been the difference up to this point this season?
There's a lot of things we could talk about. I think there's sort of in terms of the football club itself, I think there's things that behind the scenes it's been difficult because this club isn't financially a sound club where you've got like somebody who's putting loads of money into it. And listen, even you like Radcliffe with the finances they've got, the bottom line is you've still got to spend it well. You've still got to get the right players, you've still got to employ the right tactics, and you've got to get the results. So I always take my hat off to clubs like this, and the management team here have done an absolutely unbelievable job. We're at the other end of the scale of that, but you can't make excuses. So from my perspective, you are given what you've got to do the best you can with it. And at the moment, I think we're slightly under where we want to be in terms of results. Everybody can see that, but it's not for the want of effort, commitment, and desire and determination to do that. One or two players have obviously affected it in terms of the injury to Jimmy. Jimmy's been really important to us, as you know, for the last couple of seasons, and to get injured in the last pre-season game. It's been a big blow to us, and you know, he's going to be out for the season, and you know, we're sort of looking at that. You know, it has affected us, and obviously Al Ray Harvey being out for the season, it does affect you. Sayaneki, it does affect you, but we can only deal with the players that are available. So you know, from our perspective, we're going to keep grinding away, and hopefully the results turn.
Great to hear. I don't want to take too much of your time, but Andy Burns, we saw on the bench again tonight. Is there anything fitness-wise that keeping him from the main squad?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Andy's struggling with his knee. He got a knee injury at Nantwich last season. Listen, a fit Burns is in anybody's team in this league, but unfortunately he's not. So you know, we're in a situation where, you know, we have to be careful with it because we don't want to affect his health. Burns is an absolute warrior, but unfortunately at the moment he's not fully fit. So again, we're managing that situation. But you know, let's be honest about it. There's players out there who are absolutely giving their all for the club. Again, it's not for the want of effort and trying. It's just at the moment we're falling short.
And finally, this weekend we host Cornland in the FA Trophy, and a fantastic opportunity for some much-needed financial benefits, which I'm sure you'd agree with.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a tough game. I know the manager there and the assistant manager there really well. I was with them at Nuneaton, and Richard Lavery. I played with him at 4 different clubs, so I know what they'll be about. They've got some really good players. You know, Ryan Beswick, who was playing captain at Nuneaton last year. Devon Kelly-Evans, who was captain at Leamington. Kane Noble, who was at Nuneaton last year in the midfield. So we're aware of all their players. It's going to be a very tough game, and if we're not at our very, very best, it's going to be a difficult afternoon. But rest assured, we'll dust ourselves down now, a bit of a deserved rest, going on Thursday, work on things, and hopefully get through to the next round of the FA Trophy.
Thanks, Dale. We look forward to it.
Thank you.